Hello everyone and welcome to my All Soaps Update channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Monday, October 20th, 2025. Today on The Bold and the Beautiful, as the welcome mat was rolled out for Steffi, Poppy paid a visit to Luna in her new home, prison. All products and services featured are independently chosen by editors. However, soaps.com may receive a commission on orders placed through its retail links, and the retailer may receive certain auditable data for accounting purposes. As the episode began, Steffi arrived at the Cliff House with Kelly and Hayes, who almost immediately had to get ready for playdates. The kids had to be back in time for family pizza night, though. Alone with his wife, Finn admitted that he had news to break that he hadn't wanted to deliver by phone. With remarkably little procrastinating for this show, Finn revealed that Lee had kept Luna alive. Steffi's reaction. See above. If a picture could say, "Seriously? That one is it?" As Finn continued telling his wife the dreadful details of Luna's resurrection, recapping how she got drunk and raped him, Steffi was beside herself, and who could blame her? Grandma Lee gave Luna a second chance, and she'd used it to immediately commit yet another crime. "She'll do whatever it takes to save herself," Steffi cried. "Even use an innocent little baby." Immediately, Steffi took off to tell her stepdaughter in person that she would never get out of prison. At Forrester, Brooke and Ridge were working hard. Kidding. They were making out and recapping the hell out of recent developments. They were just getting around to saying what a relief it was that Luna was back in the slammer when Taylor showed up to announce that Steffi was coming home that day. Shortly, Will came in to remind us, in case anyone could possibly have forgotten, that Luna was also pregnant with his kid. Talk soon turned to Steffi and how nobody had wanted to upset her getaway with news of Luna's return trip from the hereafter. For the rest of the episode, Will, Ridge, Brooke and Taylor discussed pretty much exactly what was going on in the Finn/Steffi scenes. Maybe that time could have been spent, dunno, just spitballing, showing us whether Bridget is dating anyone these days or giving us a clue about how Zen feels after being passed over at work in favor of Hope's half-brother. Anyway, at the jailhouse, Luna was as surprised to receive a visit from Poppy as Mom was to see the psycho alive. For once, Poppy refused to take the blame for the demented murderer/rapist Luna turned out to be. "I never bought that rewrite of the unconventional childhood Luna'd had." Further, Poppy delighted in telling her daughter that no way in hell would Bill bail her out a second time. As talk turned to Luna's pregnancy by Will, Poppy admitted that she was pleasantly surprised. Why? Despite Luna's constant bad-mouthing of her, Poppy might have taught her a valuable lesson. Of all the guys who could have knocked her up, she'd picked a millionaire's son. On second thought, maybe Poppy is as awful as Lee and Luna like to say. In the episode's final moments, Luna was elated, thinking that Will had come to see her. But no, in walked Steffi, who'd made it through LA traffic in stunningly good time, to remind Luna of her crimes and express her amazement at the killer's lack of remorse. "Everything about you is disgusting," Steffi spat. What's more, Steffi was going to make it her mission in life to see to it that the nut job who killed Hollis and Tom and was ready to offer, too, never got out of prison. "You're going to be here forever, Luna. More likely till November sweeps if we had to guess." As the tension from Steffi's explosive confrontation with Luna at the jail began to settle, the Forrester Cliff House remained a whirlwind of activity and emotional turbulence, Finn pacing the floor with a sense of helplessness, knowing that while he had delivered the truth to Steffi, he could not shield her from the full implications of Luna's actions, and Steffi herself, though momentarily calming from the shock of the news, found her thoughts spinning endlessly on the idea of Luna manipulating the unborn child, imagining every possible scenario where Luna might attempt to use her pregnancy as leverage, as if the innocence of life could be twisted into a bargaining chip, while Kelly and Hayes, blissfully unaware of the dark machinations surrounding them, continued to demand attention and affection, their laughter and chatter providing a stark contrast to the storm brewing in the adult minds of the family. Meanwhile, back at the Forrester offices, Brooke and Ridge found themselves embroiled in yet another discussion about Luna's return, their earlier romantic interlude overshadowed by concern over family safety and the potential public fallout if any of the scandalous events became known outside their inner circle, and Taylor, ever the voice of reason, attempted to mediate between Brooke and Ridge's opinions, offering insight on how best to support Steffi while maintaining control over Forrester Creations' image and the delicate balance of alliances among the families, as she reminded them that while Luna was currently confined, her influence and the consequences of her actions could ripple far beyond the jail walls, affecting Will, Elektra, and even those who were tangentially involved, including Bill, who, despite his confident assertions about eventual custody of Luna's baby, could not ignore the potential for legal entanglements and the inevitable moral quandaries that would arise when the public learned of the scandal. And as discussions continued, Steffi, Finn, and the kids sat down for a quiet moment of family pizza night, attempting to create a semblance of normalcy while Steffi's mind replayed the words she had just delivered to Luna, the venom and moral clarity in her voice a shield against the anxiety gnawing at her from the inside. And yet, even in these brief moments of respite, her thoughts wandered to Poppy, who had delighted in Luna's misfortune, calculating in her own mind how she might benefit from the chaos, her smirk and subtle manipulations leaving an unmistakable imprint on Luna's psyche even behind bars, while Luna, isolated in her cell, wrestled with a mixture of fear, desperation, and cunning, envisioning every route of escape, every opportunity to manipulate those around her, and every possible plan to regain control, her mind never resting, never ceasing to calculate the next move that could place her back in power, or at least keep her plans moving forward, even as the looming presence of Steffi's condemnation weighed heavily on her, a constant reminder that no one else could be trusted to validate her schemes, and in this psychological battleground, Will's own conscience became a battlefield, the memory of being manipulated while intoxicated, coupled with the knowledge of the life growing inside Luna, leaving him conflicted, anxious, and yearning for a clarity that seemed increasingly out of reach, while Elektra, watching the situation from the sidelines, grappled with her own emotions regarding Will, Luna, and the potential intrusion of this unplanned dramatic circumstance into her relationship, questioning whether she could separate her love for Will from the shadow cast by Luna's existence, the baby, and the threat of further interference. And as all of these threads intertwined, the broader Forrester, Spencer, Logan, and Nozawa families continued to orbit the chaos, each character's decision, reaction, and alliance shifting the delicate balance of relationships, loyalties, and vendettas, ensuring that even a simple day like October 21st would be rife with moral dilemmas, emotional confrontations, and the kind of high-stakes drama that only a world populated with BNB's complex, interwoven characters could deliver, as the story promised to escalate through the week with more prison visits, family meetings, strategic alliances, whispered confidences, confrontational dialogues, and the ever-present tension of who might betray whom next, all while the innocent eyes of Kelly and Hayes remained bright and unaware, a stark contrast to the intensity of the adult world they were momentarily shielded from. And as the hours passed, the narrative threads of love, revenge, protection, and ambition continued to weave together into an intricate tapestry of suspense, ensuring that every moment from family breakfast to jailhouse confrontations, every whispered conversation, and every emotional outburst built toward an inevitable crescendo of revelations, confrontations, and emotional reckonings that would define not only the week but the trajectory of every character caught in the orbit of Luna Nozawa's shocking return and the chaotic aftermath that followed in its wake.